friend. All right, a little late for Prada's update. I always get my dogs when they show up midweek, I get them confused with where their first week ends. She's doing really well. Super hyper, as we all know. So it's really been about kind of reeling her in and getting that engagement. She tends to just want to like do, and struggles to focus. So I'm using the markers to kind of help figure out how to build engagement. And I switched her to a prong color pretty quickly. Just because she didn't really have a lot of self-preservation with anything else, and she was choking herself out, dragging, and making herself cough and gag and all of that stuff. So I wanted something that she was a little bit more responsive to, so I can help her check in with me. And then from that point, I have to make sure that she understands leash pressure and what I'm asking for and how to remove it and all of that. So super quick with the markers. A marker is a word that marks a moment in time that I like something, and for her that's going to announce the arrival of a reinforcer, and that marker is going to bridge the gap between desired behavior and delivery of the reinforcer. So that way when she hears the marker, whatever she's doing when she hears it, that is going to take on the good feeling of food, so that I hope that will increase the likelihood of her repeating that behavior because it brings good things. So that's a collar, you can't have it. So we have yes, which is I like what you did, take something from me. I'm typically going to kind of move around and have her chase my hand, build up its appeal by making it a little bit tougher to get, tougher to obtain. Sit. Good is going to be a marker that implies I want you to continue to do that. So no matter what I'm doing, good, I want her to remain in that behavior. And then okay is her terminal marker. So if I ask her to do something and she breaks behavior before I give that okay, I'm going to say no, and I'm going to help her go back into that behavior. So the thing with leash pressure, especially with the prong, again, I want her to understand what that's asking, and I want to empower her with how to remove it. So what I'm doing, what I'm doing is good. I will apply a little bit of pressure as I give a known command, okay, and then I will mark and pay and release that tension when she goes into behavior. So if I do sit, good. That was kind of a bad example because she plopped into a sit. Okay, hey, get it. So I'll do it again. Prada. Yes. Right there. She was looking over there. My collar's on the ground, so I think she thinks that's a toy. I gave a little bit of leash tension towards me, and as soon as she moved towards me, I marked with that yes and really discontinued the pressure in the leash. So I want to show her, like, if you just move towards that source or do the behavior that I'm looking for, that pressure goes away. And I find that that's just a much more reliable communication form with the dog, because when there's conflict of interest, when she's motivated elsewhere and we need her to be doing something, I want her to know how to do it, and I want her to know that when I'm asking, I want her to know how to respond to that. I hope that makes sense. So if I need her to sit and she's like, what are they doing all these crazy things, or I need her to leave something alone and I apply leash pressure, if she doesn't know how to respond to that leash pressure, we have a dog that is frustrated and just pulling into it, and typically we as owners, we give up, right, whatever, you don't know what you're not listening, and we give that pressure, release of pressure, and we can inadvertently reinforce the unwanted behavior. So we can strengthen, Prada, yes. We can strengthen the unwanted behavior by showing the dog that if this is the level of intensity that they get to, they can have the thing that we want. So the prong's advantage is that there is a little bit of discomfort with it, right? It's a metal collar. I don't want to be yanking and cranking on her, and I certainly don't want to be dragging. I'm just resisting the amount of pressure that she applies herself. So the advantage is that we have that little bit of annoyance, so she's more responsive to it in the moment versus like a slip lead or a harness and things like that, where she's willing to just sit there and deal with that pressure for a pretty extended period of time until we give up. Prada, place. Good. Very nice. So really this first week and a half, good, has been about creating a better communication with her, because she's such a squirrely dog. She's super sweet. She's just living life to the fullest, right? Okay. Good girl. Place. Good. Sit. Good. Down. You know how to do it. Down. Good. No. Down. Prada. bed before. Prod, down. Good. Very good. Good. Okay, very nice. With her toys, I haven't really had any issues with it. I haven't messed with food too much because I want to make sure that we're more solid with toys before I start messing with her meals and things like that. Play mechanics has been the big thing that I've focused on, along with not in the context of play. So I don't want to make her give up toys too often. What I've been doing is keep her on leash. Usually for play, I just put her on a regular leash because I'm not like applying too much of an unwanted pressure. The leash is there just to kind of keep control of her basically. So when she's running around playing with the toy, I can bring her into my space and I'm gonna run away from her so that she follows me with the toy. And I'm showing her that I have a safe place for her to bring that toy. So that we're lessening that conflict basically. Wow, sorry, my words are hard. I wanna get her comfortable with bringing toys. Prada, yes. Bringing toys into my space so that it's not so much of me running to take toys from her. So that's going to be the first step. And then what we're doing with her out is we are with food. Prada, good girl. I'm simply saying out, stepping into her space and tossing food away from us so that she gets out the muscle memory of moving away from me. Next week we'll probably kind of switch that over to removing her from a source away from me. So we'll start with a little bit of kind of lower value kibble and say that we're out, she knows to move backwards, and then reward her for coming back into my space with a higher value reward. So that's going to be that first step. And then I'll switch over to toys so that I can have a reliable out when she's playing, so that I'm not having to go and put myself physically in between her and a toy, which we already know that there's a lot of conflict with that. I want to create a proper response to that so that we can have play. She knows how to play with us. She's not worried about toys, and then we can keep her safe if we need to. If she has something that she's not supposed to have. All right, girlfriend. That's the video. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm not 100% sure if you wanted to do just 2 weeks or if you wanted to do the full 4 weeks. So if that's the case, just let me know. I think they said something up front about you wanting to do like e-collar and stuff like that. So if you want to do the next 2 weeks to make the full 4 weeks, just let me know and I can adjust her reservation. All right, come on, crazy girl.